wanted to talk like collegially with you first, man, and then we'll go into like pro professional, and then we'll just have some
All right.
predictions as far as like Super Bowl, and then who's gonna make the college football playoff and stuff like that.
All right. Sounds good.
Sounds good. All right, man. So let's start with Georgia, man. So Georgia is 4-2 on the year. It dropped a key game last week against the SEC East rival and the Florida Gators, man. So first, man, how did you feel about the game? And then second, what do you think the direction of Georgia should be for the rest of the season?
So I was kind of like 50-50 on whether or not we will win because I have not seen or not been convinced by our offense yet. To be real, I think we're right now just an average offense. We still missing that key piece at quarterback. Like I like the potential of Dewan Mathis. I just wish he would have used his legs a little more. And I think one of our big mistakes was pulling Stetson Bennett out too late. Like by the time Dewan had come in, it was already the fourth quarter, and we're down 3 scores, and we had a lot of work to do to catch up. And also, a lot of our guys were injured that game too. We didn't have our star safety, Richard LeCount. He was out from a motorcycle accident. And a lot of our guys were just dropping like flies that game too, or really both teams. There was a lot of injuries that game, and I think our main focus now should just be getting healthy and focusing on how we can improve ourselves as a team and try to finish the season strong. Because we're not completely out of the playoffs. We would have to win out, but we would also have to hope Florida loses 2 games as well. So it's
Exactly.
not we're not completely out of the picture. But I see us still finishing probably second, but I do at the very least want to see us win out and just try to finish the season strong. Got some good recruits coming in, and hopefully we can have a rebound season the following year. But
For sure.
my main concern right now is quarterback because we get all this 5-star talent like JT Daniels and Dewan Mathis and Justin Fields, but we never use them. And I still believe that Justin Fields was the answer we needed at quarterback or to bring us a natty because look at him right now.
Definitely.
He's tearing it up at OSU. And
Definitely.
it's painful to watch knowing what we're missing out on right now. So, I mean, but all you can do is just move forward from that. So I'm just really hoping they use one of our star quarterbacks at some point and he can make a difference.
Yeah, man, I think that's what's holding you guys back, really, man. I did a podcast the other day, or a few weeks ago, about talking about Georgia and what was really missing for the team. And I always like I put quarterback and I said safe and I said secondary. Secondary and key moments will let you guys down, and then it was definitely the quarterback position. But like you just mentioned, you guys always have 5-star talent. You and Alabama are neck and neck each year with who has the top class as far as going into the season. So what do you think is the you kind of hinted on it, but what do you think else is the discrepancy for the team? Why they can't get over the hump and why they haven't, had that natty delivered to Georgia yet? And it's been, so long since they won.
Well, in terms of hump, are you talking about like maybe the Alabama hump or so?
Yeah, like the Alabama hump, and then like you guys will go to possibly like a bowl game. Like you guys went to a bowl game a few years ago and then lost to Texas, and then you went to the national championship game, lost to
Yeah.
Alabama, and then last year you lost to LSU.
Well, I think it's a coaching standpoint there at the end of the day. I mean, Nick Saban, as much as he annoys me with his dynasty, he's still one of the probably the greatest college football coach of all time. And I mean, I'd imagine the reason he's been so successful at Alabama is how he talks to his players and how he probably displays how he cares for them off the field too, and that is also a very important standpoint as a coach, not just about the football games, but about their lives. And when players get the feeling that you actually care for them outside of the field too,
I
they're
agree.
willing to play for you much harder than I think people realize. And I think Kirby Smart also has that same mindset. He also is like a players coach kind of guy. However, the difference between him and Saban is Saban does not allow anything to go against his judgment. Like you've seen, if someone in Alabama is not playing well, you get the hook. It's like if you're not playing up to our standards, next man up.
Yeah, that's
Kirby
true.
Smart is not there. Perfect example, Jalen Hurts in the Fanatic game when we were playing him. We were lighting him up. They were being shut out the first half.
I remember that.
Nick Saban gave him the hook, like, look, man, like, love you, but we're trying to win this football game. Next man up. And Tua came in and started letting it up. That's what I want to see Kirby start doing more with these quarterbacks that we have of ours. Like he's trying to be like the patient man, just like let him develop. Well, that's the thing. I understand what you're trying to do, but football games need to be won if we want to win a natty, and we need to win these key games. So Nick Saban is willing to do whatever he has to do to win the key games. Kirby
I
Smart
agree.
is still too loyal. Like I understand that loyalty is very important to your players, but at the end of the day, your job is to win football games, and especially in those key ones, you got to do whatever you can to win. And why we can't get over that hump, in my opinion, is because we're not making those key changes we need to in the middle of games.
I agree, man. Just mention it really quickly back on the quarterback, and then I'll move on. Do you feel like Jamie Newman, the transfer from Wake Forest, the graduate transfer this year, do you think he would have made a difference for you guys at the quarterback position? Do you think you guys have as many struggles, or?
See, that's where I'm unsure of, because the SEC is a completely different level than the ACC. He was playing at Wake Forest, but at the same time, he was really the only offensive talent at Wake Forest, which is, I think he's the sole reason why they became a ranked team, because of his legs and his ability to throw the football. And thinking about it, at Georgia, he would have had a much better offensive line and a lot more weapons to throw to. So offensively, I think at the very least we would have been slightly better with him at QB, because he's experienced. He was he was a grad transfer, right? That's what you said?
Yeah, he's a graduate transfer from Wake Forest.
Yeah, he's a grad transfer. So he's got experience in college football. And I think with the new weapons at his arsenal, I think he actually could have made some pretty major damage. Because from what I've seen in college football, man, you got to have a pair of legs if you want to go to the playoffs. Like Justin Fields, Trevor Lawrence, Joe Burrow. Like, you got to also run, not just sit in the pocket and like a statue. I mean, the style of football is starting to become out of date, even in the NFL. Really, like you've seen like how many people are starting to run the ball now, like Lamar Jackson, Holmes, like
Kyler Murray.
Like, that's just the way football's being played now. You got to run. Yeah,
I agree, man. I agree. You're right. And then, man, on the last question, man, for the college tip, man, what do you think about, it was like 4 games that was pretty much postponed this week. You had Georgia game was postponed, Tennessee game, Alabama game against LSU. What do you think about that, man? And do you think we're still going to do you still think we're going to be able to finish the season?
I really am not too certain. That depends entirely on how much people are willing to cooperate with the whole COVID situation. I would like to see this season finish and see a national title winner, or at least like a conference winner. But right now, I can't give you an exact answer, because I don't know. It's not something I can really see, depending on the way people respond and react to it. So, but my guess is might be delayed by 2 or 3 weeks. That's the way I see things going.
Right.
I could be wrong, but that's just where I'm at right now. So I'm still not 100% certain on that, even with the NFL, because I feel like the NFL could also end up in a similar situation.
Yeah, man. So let's go ahead and navigate to the NFL. They do have some protocol in place in case they can't finish the season. I don't know if you heard, they're actually adding an extra 2 teams to the playoffs, so it'll be 16 instead of 14 if they don't finish the season. Yeah, so that's pretty interesting, man. But I know you're a big Falcon fan, man. So I mean, it's been a rough season for you guys, man. You guys fired Dan Quinn.
Yeah,
fired Thomas
they just love giving us a. What's up?
Huh? No. I was just saying who you guys have fired.
Yeah. So I think even Arthur Blank said, "All right, that's enough heartbreak. Our fans have endured enough." I mean, he was very, like he said, Dan Quinn and Thomas Dimitroff served our organization with class, which they did, but in the end, it just was not working out, and it was time to turn to the next page. So yeah, our only like real legitimate loss that wasn't heartbreaking was to the Seahawks, and they're just a really good team this season. Russell Wilson's playing at another level right now, still looking as good as ever, and Seahawks are looking just as mean as ever. So I see them being one of the top contenders for the NFC. Falcons, yeah, it's like ever since our Super Bowl collapse, fourth quarters have not been our strong suit by any means, and that's a trend I would like to see break within my franchise sooner or later. And it's still happening. I mean, you got the Dallas game, 20-0 lead gone. You had the Bears lead in the fourth quarter with a few minutes left gone. Like those are 2 98% back-to-back games. You had a 98 or 99% chance of winning that you lost twice.
Yeah,
that to me is mind-blowing and humiliating. But right now, for my franchise, things are looking up. I mean, Raheem Morris, in my opinion, is doing a great job as an intern coach. He's 3-1. He's got he's almost really undefeated. I mean, if it wasn't for that last second Detroit loss in the final seconds, he would be undefeated right now. And that's a really good sign to show. And I think he has especially our defense. I noticed they've been playing a different kind of ball. And what he's been doing at practice is he's forcing players, or putting more pressure on them to succeed. See, what Dan Quinn was doing at practice was he was doing repeats of drills over and over till it was perfected. And Raheem Morris was like, I'm going to stop that because in games, you don't get a do-over. It's like, if you want to get it right the first time. Otherwise, on to the next play. And that's what they've been doing. And it's been shown on the field, especially on defense, too. I'm not sure what the changes he made on defense, but my guess would be he discussed with them what their strengths and weaknesses are. And he put them each in a position where they have a higher chance of succeeding. And so far, that's been showing, especially with our secondary, too. Our young secondary, AJ Terrell and Isaiah Oliver, our two young cornerbacks, they've been doing a lot better under Raheem Morris's coaching style. And that's been really good to see because secondary has been a big weakness of our team for quite some time. And I noticed we're actually making it tougher for them to complete passes, as well as of our D-line. Our D-line looks like it's been improved a lot. Grady Jarrett's still a monster. Dante Fowler's also been creating a lot of pressure. And who's the other one? We had Tech McKinley, but we waived him because apparently he just didn't want to be a Falcon anymore.
Yeah, that and too many injuries.
Yeah, it's like that. And we had Marlon Davidson from Auburn, who's still waiting for him to make noise, but I still have hopes for him because he was definitely a beast at Auburn, and I still feel like he has the potential to make some damage at the defensive line position. As for our offense, well, Matt Ryan is the current passing leader in the league right now, and people have been bashing him like crazy nonstop. I mean,
yeah, he's not been bashed.
The thing is, like, I understand he doesn't have like the greatest games at all, but he's just one man on the team is what people have to realize. Yes, he plays the most important position, but keep in mind all these stats he's been putting up throughout his entire career. He's been doing it behind a average at best offensive line.
That's a fair point.
Are really not acknowledging. Like, yeah, and there are games where like I'm very critical of him, especially like recently. I noticed his accuracy has been off a little bit, but he had a much better game against the Broncos. Like he looked like he was much more in his stride, like he normally is, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe his career average passing yards a game is 300. He's been a very consistent passer, and I just feel like he doesn't get enough respect as he deserves. Yeah, I know his fourth quarter finishes could definitely be stronger, but at the same time, he's not playing defense. He's not the one that gives up the late fourth quarter leads.
I agree.
Like he's an offensive player, and like he's going to have his off days like any quarterback. And when he does have an off day, people are instant to get on him.
Exactly.
And people have to remember it's a team sport, not just one man. Like people are really quick to blame the quarterback when their team's not doing well, is what I noticed. And
I'm glad you mentioned that because I actually want to get your viewpoint on this. Like you said, Matt Ryan has gotten a lot of criticism. A lot of people want him out. Even your owner, Arthur Blank, said he don't even know what the future holds. He would love Matt Ryan back, but he didn't really commit to Matt Ryan going forward in the future. So I see that you're more, going to the defense of Matt Ryan. So being that you guys are 3-6, do you think you guys should just lose out? And then the second question, do you guys think you should keep Matt Ryan or move on to like, Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields?
Well, I'm kind of like 50-50. I'm like, I love Matt Ryan. I appreciate what he's done for our franchise, but I'm also saying like it's pretty soon time to invest in the next franchise quarterback, which is what I think we should be looking at here soon in these upcoming drafts, because you want to have that guy as an understudy to Matt Ryan to like observe and learn a little bit while he's still as QB1. Then when the time comes, he steps in with some kind of experience or some kind of knowledge that Matt Ryan has been able to pass down to them. That's what I feel like we need to start doing. So in terms of moving on from Matt Ryan, I'd say maybe give him at least 2 or 3 more seasons is what I'm feeling right now. I'm not sure. I don't really know what the future holds from him or how many more years he has left in him. I believe he's 34 or 35 right now or something. So he's starting to get to that age where he's like probably going to start slowing down pretty soon, exactly. But still a pretty consistent passer. But yeah, Falcons need to start looking at some future quarterbacks here soon, though. We actually, I don't remember his first name. We actually had a pretty good, solid backup when I was watching one of the pre-games last season. I think his name was Etling or something like that. He was really exciting to watch. Pretty solid passer, and also can move out of the pocket and scramble whenever he needs to. And I remember just watching him in the pre-games. He actually brought some excitement to the offense, which is something I was curious about because I really haven't seen his name mentioned at all ever since. And I thought from what I saw, he would actually might be a solid backup to Matt Schaub when we still had him. I would have put him at number 2. But if that's not the case, then I would not be opposed to the Trevor Lawrence bandwagon now. I mean, from what I've seen, he's consistent. I wouldn't mind having him as our new franchise quarterback. He's also really
the guy's pretty elite, man. I mean, they said he might stay in
yeah.
school, man, if the Jets got the number 1 pick. He said he don't
I
want to go to New
it's
York, man.
So I was wondering. I was thinking, I was like, yeah, he probably said he got COVID because he don't want to get drafted number 1. That's the thing. I can't blame him, man. Like, if
I can't.
That's the thing about being like a Heisman contender or like one of the top players in college football. It's like, cool. When you go to the NFL, though, you're looking at Cleveland, New York, or some kind of like team that's consistently having like 2-16 seasons or stuff like that. And that's just not what you want. That's like,
you go literally to the bottom, and then you have to like try to build that up. You know what I'm saying? And then they expect you to win then, and it's a franchise that really they never won. So
like, that's the thing. Like, I understand like you want to go in the league with having a good attitude, but when I'm trying to like at the same time think from their perspective, when you just got drafted to Cleveland, who's been consistently hot trash for season after season, like I'd imagine it's hard to look forward to going to play for a team like that.
Probably not, man.
If we're being real, I mean, Cleveland's finally having a decent season right now. I mean, I think they're
5-3, so
5-3, yeah. So they're not
very
bad.
Contention.
Yeah, it's like that. Well, that whole division right now looks pretty tight between Pittsburgh, Cleveland, and Baltimore.
I know it's a rough division for my favorite team, man. But it's okay. We building slowly, man. We're building slowly.
I think Joe Burrow is going to be a solid future quarterback for you guys. So far, he's playing really hard for how you guys are rebuilding right now, and that to me is.
I can't lie, man. I like him, man. For real. I watched like 4 or 5 of his games, man. A lot of people are like, oh, Justin Herbert's offensive rookie of the year. Tua's offensive rookie of the year. I'm like, okay, have you guys watched Burrow? They all have the same amount of wins too. And then, Burrow, to me, he just passes the eye test. He don't have it, like you said with Matt Ryan, average offensive line. Burrow don't have a good offensive line. His defense is trash,
And that's the thing. Like, yeah, he's playing. Isn't he like sacked the most this season too of all the QBs? Like he had like 8 a game with like 2 games with like 7 or 8 sacks or something like that.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, multiple games like that's the thing. Like I was like, it's like that's what I was observing. Like they need to get Joe Burrow some help with the line, man, because like they
don't get the man killed.
If he keeps taking hits like that constantly, it's like you're gonna get your star QB killed pretty dang early.
Exactly.
Like the fact that he's still putting up the numbers that he is with that kind of offensive line and still like trying to reestablish some talent for him is pretty dang impressive in my opinion. So he's still giving it his all.
I agree, man.
Like, you can't really ask for anything more from the guy.
No, you can't, man. I'm definitely impressed with him, man. But shifting back to the Falcons, man, I just want to get your opinion, man. What do you think about the receiving core? Really, mainly Julio Jones. Do you guys think I know the trading deadline is going on, but you guys think you should trade him next season? Do you think guys should get some capital, some draft capital? What direction do you think you guys should go?
If I am a really big Julio Jones fan, I would hate to see him leave the franchise. I've always wanted to see him retire a Falcon, but honestly, if he gets traded and we trade him for like some solid first round picks or something like that, I really wouldn't be opposed to it because I know we're in the stages now where we're preparing to rebuild our team because it's like that's where it feels like we're feeling like the Matt Ryan era is almost coming to an end, and it's feeling a lot like a fresh start right now. It just seems like we're close to hitting the reset button on our franchise because I think the fans are tired of just like all the years of disappointment and they really want to establish a team that can consistently win. So I don't know about the whole Julio Jones situation, but I wouldn't complain if he got traded for future first round picks.
Gotcha. So you wouldn't mind the franchise going in a different direction?
Nah. So honestly, no matter what team he goes to, I'll always be a Julio Jones fan. So I mean, he's one of the best to ever play the game, in my opinion. He's just a class act on and off the field. Like, got nothing but respect for the guy. So if someone picks him up like Steelers, Baltimore, Seattle, I'll still be rooting for him all the way.
I agree. All right, man. So give me some of your picks, man. Let's go NFL first and then go college. Give me your Super Bowl pick now. Like who's gonna be in the Super Bowl? Who you got winning?
That's tough because there's a lot of teams that are playing some really dang good football right now. It's like you got the
For sure.
Chiefs, you got this undefeated Steelers right now.
Yep.
Could have the Seahawks. Could have the Packers.
Yep.
Let's
Saints.
see. Saints, yeah, but they always choke at the playoffs, so I was like, that's why I didn't put them on the list. Like that's the thing, like, and I'm not saying I'm just being harsh on them because I'm a Falcons fan and hate the Saints, but like I could see them going to the Super Bowl, but like I'm just looking at their history. Like they have had 3 playoff heartbreaks.
Yeah, they have.
They had the Minneapolis Miracle. They had got that pass interference call that wasn't called against the Rams.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Then they had another Minneapolis. Then they had lost to Minneapolis again in overtime. So I mean,
lost to Minnesota again.
I'm just wondering, it's like, are they going to make actually go all the way, or are they going to have another heartbreaking loss in the postseason again? So I don't know. I mean, like that's up to them, really. That's kind of why I like on the fence with them. But there was them, and I can't really put anybody in the NFC East, can I? Because that whole division is a dumpster fire right now.
Trash right now. It's just terrible.
The Eagles,
Cowboys.
Like,
I think the Eagles got the best shot coming out of the division.
3 wins. That's it.
Huh? What do you say?
Like, I don't see him beating any of these other playoffs. So in the NFC,
no, I don't think
like
so.
the Eagles, I think whoever. My thing is like whoever get from the NFC is probably going to get eliminated first round. Is my guess. It's like
Probably.
I don't think they have the talent or just the coaching right now to compete with the other teams. So let me go back to the AFC now. So you have the AFC West. I think you could probably see the Raiders as a wild card team. Maybe
Sleeper.
they're
a sleeper.
Sleeper team. Yeah, like they beat the Chiefs on the road, so that's kind of why I'm
in Arrowhead.
Let's see. Another sleeper team or quiet team that no one's really been talking about is the Indianapolis Colts. I believe they're 5-3 or 6-3, if I'm not mistaken. They've been playing. Yeah, it's like Phillip Rivers had a pretty solid game last season, and can't count him out as quarterback. He's still one of the solid passers or underrated passers in the league, in my opinion.
For sure.
And that Colts is playing some hard defense right now. So
their defense is good. I like the defense.
Also, wouldn't count out the Titans. Derrick Henry's a monster, man.
For sure.
It's like he, to me, is the face of that offense right now. It's like I was very impressed with their playoff run last season. They defeated both New England and Baltimore on the road in the playoffs as a wild card team, and gave Kansas City a good fight in Arrowhead too, and almost went to the Super Bowl, like doing probably the hardest playoff route to the Super Bowl. You would have to go through New England, then Baltimore, then Kansas City. If they went through all of that to the Super Bowl, I already have a lot of respect for them now for putting up that kind of fight in the postseason, but man, that would have been incredible. That would have been something else.
I agree.
And you got the Bills in the leading the NFC or the AFC. Yep. So honestly, I'm just happy to see someone other than New England finishing first, hopefully in that division finally this season. It's
good to see somebody new, huh?
It's like Josh Allen's also looking like a really solid quarterback right now. So I really think it's really anyone's game right now. Look at those with all those teams I just mentioned, because a lot can change. Like we're still in the middle of the second half of football, so I'd say maybe currently in the best shot in the AFC. I'll give you my top 2 teams in both conferences: Steelers, Chiefs for the AFC, and for the NFC, I got. I will give you Green Bay and Seattle.
Green Bay and Seattle. And then out of those teams, who you think will win it all? Down to those 4. Green Bay, Seattle, and then Kansas City and Pittsburgh. If you had to say.
Kansas City.
Repeat?
When it comes to when it comes to crunch time, man, Pat Mahomes is just something else. He's also just proven himself as a comeback kid. They were down like 21-0, I believe, in the AFC Championship against the Titans when they were playing him, and he came right back in the second half and gave them a completely different ball game. And they were also down in the Super Bowl. I think at the last few minutes, he had a game-winning drive. I mean, he's definitely got that it factor with him, and he's got crazy weapons at his arsenal. He's got both Miko Hardman and
got plenty of weapons.
Tyreek Hill, who are both. Yeah, he's super fast receivers, and he's also got Sammy
Travis
Watkins,
Kelce.
Travis Kelsey, yeah, and they also picked Edwards-Helaire from LSU, who was their beast of a running back during their natty run. I mean, he's just loaded with offensive talent, man. And he himself already is an offensive talent. So as a Falcons fan, I'm not looking forward to the time when it comes to play them. So I'm pretty. I like the style of football we're playing right now, but I would be willing to bet they're going to give us quite a whooping when we play them. And not only their offensive talent is good, but I noticed their defense is starting to step up a little bit too.
Yeah,
Their
their
defense
defense was struggling a little bit at
so
the
their
beginning.
defense was at the beginning, but like they look like they've tightened up a little bit, and they're actually starting to make plays on the football. And if they get their defense going, it's going to be a hard team to beat, man.
I agree. All right, man. So give me a Super Bowl pick, man. So last one, at least, man. Give me a college football playoff pick. Give me your top 4 teams, and then give me who you think will win it all out of those 4.
Top 4 teams in the NFL.
No, college football. Top 4 teams, college football. You think will make the playoff,
Oh,
and
college
then who
football.
will win? Yeah, who you think will win? If you had to say.
All right, I'll start at number 4. This is a team that's surprised me all season because they're normally a no-name team, but they looks like they're playing lights out right now. I would love to see if they can continue to finish strong. I could throw Cincinnati at number 4, man. They're number 7 right now, and they are playing some solid football. I mean, I want to see before if that was to happen. I want to see them play a solid ranked team to really test them to see how good they are talent wise. And if they pass the test, I say they've earned their way into the college football playoffs if they finish and win their conference. I mean, they're playing good football. They deserve to be rewarded for it. Them, Ohio State probably.
I agree.
I'm sick of them. I hate them almost as much as I hate Alabama, really. But yeah,
they're definitely in there.
Ohio State, Clemson, and Alabama.
Okay, those are some good picks.
Wait. No. Oh yeah. So I was going to say Florida, but I forget the winner of the SEC is going to be in the playoffs. I don't see 2 SEC teams being in there unless something happens to the top 4 teams. But
I think unless Florida beats Alabama in the championship game, I think they have a chance.
Yeah, so I would put my money on Alabama still that game. I mean, I could be wrong.
Right.
Florida looks like they're playing pretty solid right now, but I still see Alabama coming out on top in that game.
Yeah, that should be a good one if they end up playing each other. I'll give you my top 4, man. My top 4 is it's a sleeper team at 4, but I would say Florida's in there. But if Florida loses again, I would put BYU. They sleeper. They haven't lost this season. I will put Ohio State. I will put Clemson, but I got to see them play Notre Dame again in the ACC championship game. I got to see it's either between those 2. Yeah, Notre Dame's in that conversation too, and then like you said, Alabama. So those would be my top 4. Kind of see what happens with Clemson and Notre Dame down the line, but I would still put Clemson in there because they played a good game on the road without their star quarterback. So,
yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it was a really good game.
Yeah, it's like I something tells me it's probably just going to be Alabama's season as much as I'm sick of them. It's like I just see them winning it all this season. Really, I mean they still have a load of receiver contact, but I hope not either. But that's just the way I see it going right now. I mean, I was not too convinced by their defense, especially against that Ole Miss game where they
48 points,
that many points. But yeah, and it's like I don't know if that was from Blaine Kittman just like knowing Nick Saban's playbook or something or not, but
coaching with them so long.
They were running through them like a hot knife through butter. There's no doubt about it. So I don't know, but right now it seems like they tightened up on a little bit on defense because we definitely struggled to put score against them a little bit, but at the same time we were not playing to our maximum potential on offense, which was also really frustrating.
Right.
But I will say Alabama doesn't necessarily have that elite defense they used to have back in the day.
They usually always have good linebackers. They get a good pass rush and a good secondary,
And here's the thing, like if it's Alabama versus Ohio State, I think Ohio State's really got a good shot to beat Bama. I mean, they have the talent on both sides of the ball to make it happen, especially with Justin Fields. It's like they beat it last time Ohio State played Alabama, they won.
Yeah. They
Now
did. I
they
remember that.
won,
That's
and
when they won the national championship.
yeah, that was
Hmm.
when they Ohio State was number 4. They were the top bottom seed, and Alabama was number 1, and they beat them.
Hmm.
Then went on to beat Oregon. I remember that year, and
Yep.
I don't
That's
think
when they had
they
Zeke.
played. Yep. So yeah, it's like yeah, my number 1 right now would be Alabama, but I would put Ohio State in number 2 if not Alabama.
Yeah, you had a pretty good list, man. That sleeper team was Cincinnati. I didn't expect them to be so high, but definitely got to do a little bit more research on that. I know
No,
they
it's
were
like
number 7, but
yeah, yeah. So they're normally like not even a ranked team, hardly ever. And the
no,
fact
no,
that they
they're
made it
not.
to number 7 is like they must have good programming going on there right now because I'm gonna have to start watching their games or their highlights.
For sure. See what's going on with them.
It's where our boy Kevin Muhan played when he was, if I'm not
Yeah, no
mistaken.
cost alum.
Yep.
For sure. But yeah, man, I appreciate you, man, being on the show, being on my podcast, man. Did you have anything else for me, man, before I let you go?
Nah, man. It's like it's really good talking to you. It's like definitely good to talk about sports with someone. It's been a while since I've done that.
I know, man. It's been a crazy time, man, for sure. I kind of miss talking about sports too. Everything's just been different, weird, you got to be careful. So, man, I appreciate definitely talking about sports, man. And, down the line, or even, what I'm saying, next year, next semester, whatever it is, if you want to get back on the show, man, just let me know.
Yeah, man. Definitely love to talk some basketball sometime too in the upcoming NBA season.
Sure. Oh, yeah, man. I forgot about that. They start on the 25th. You're a Hawks fan, right?
Yep.
Hey, man, I cover the Hawks, man. Hey, you guys look pretty dangerous, man. I mean, I know nobody
Yeah.
else outside of Hawks gonna say
I
that,
pro-
but Trey Young, y'all got some nice
yeah.
developing talent going.
See, no, it's like here the thing I've been telling about people about Trey Young and Steph Curry. Steph Curry racks up the points. Trey Young racks up the points and the assists.
I agree.
Like he was a second in assists last season only to LeBron James. Like, and that was his second season in the league, I believe, or something like
And
that. The fact that he's already like
and he was second in scoring.
third in scoring, I think he was I don't remember. It was Giannis and someone else. I don't remember who it was, but he was number 3, like in his second season. Second season, you're number 2 in assists and number 3 in scoring, and he's not even hitting his prime yet. That's the thing that scares me about this guy.
He's
Like
only 21.
he's just an all natural. Yeah, he's an all natural raw talent. He's somewhat changed the game of basketball from what I've seen too, because you normally from most point guards are mostly like drive in and try to do a layup or like jack up a 3 or something. He can do everything. He will get you the ball if you're open. There's nothing there. He'll take a Steph Curry shot, or he can shake you out of your boots and drive to the lane. Like there's really no weakness with his game. And with him, you also have a stud of a power forward in John Collins. And people were
Underrated.
talking about people were talking about having this man traded, and I've been saying, you guys are crazy. You realize he's consistently a 20 and 10 guy right now, right? I mean, that's exactly what you want out of your power forward. He's second
Exactly.
leading scorer on the team besides Trey Young, and we also just picked up Clint Capella from the Rockets, who I believe is in his prime right now, and having him as a big man to help snag some boards and rebounds would be huge.
Yeah, that was
And
definitely one of the areas where you guys kind of struggled last year in the rebounding in some
yeah, and
key
my man
games.
Cam Reddish, I like to see Cam Reddish develop some more too. Like yeah, he he has that like slasher mentality whenever he has the ball. Like if he keeps that mentality consistently, he's going to be a dangerous man to stop, man. Like another Paul George or something like that. What like people have been saying, like he's super athletic.
I
Just
agree. And he plays
I like
defense.
that. Yeah, and yeah, same with him and DeAndre Hunter too, who also like the way he plays defense kind of reminds me of Kawhi Leonard. Like he's kind of like locked in on the ball, just like kind of like poking at it constantly.
Yep.
Looks like a very similar defensive play style with him, and also like a consistent scorer, mostly in the middle teens, finishing games with good solid rebounding too. So I mean, the Hawks just have one of the best young cores in all of basketball, in my opinion, and I'm just really hoping they can make something out of it soon because
For
they
sure.
recently have been my favorite sports team to watch out of Atlanta, along with the Braves. So
Yeah,
I can't
man.
wait to watch the Hawks again.
For sure, man. So yeah, that's what we'll do, man, on the next one. Next time we meet up, man, on the podcast, man, we'll talk some Falcons, and then by then the not Falcons, we'll talk some Hawks. We'll talk some Hawks and we'll talk some Braves because by the time the baseball season should be starting too. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
All right, man. Sounds good, man.
All righty,
So
man. Well, it was really good talking with you, man.
you too, man. I'll have you back on soon, man.
Sounds good, man. Be
All
easy.
right, man. See ya.